How y'all doing? Welcome to the Life Spot. Riding with my gear on, safety first. But today I just want to bring you a video about my Honda CBR500. I just recently purchased this bike. Right now I'm actually loving it. I'm gonna get into more of it, telling you about what I think about it, the ups, the downs, the new rider experience, and what have you. Hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as I do. We'll see. Alright, so I'm just gonna ride around this area, just really testing it out. There's a few things that I like about this bike. Actually, I like the majority of the things about this bike. You know, a lot of the people who talk about the Honda CBR500, they say it's not enough power. They like to say this is a bike that you're gonna outgrow. You're gonna want something bigger than this. If all you want to do is go fast and straight, sure, you might want to get a bike that 650 or better. If all you want to do is ride fast and ride straight. If you want to ride safe, if you want to take some corners and do other things besides riding fast and riding straight, then this is all the bike you'll ever need, in my opinion. That's just my opinion from a new rider. Take it for what it's worth. I've been on a Ninja 650 probably around 2005, and it does go really fast in a straight line, and if you really know what you're doing, you can take them corners too. But that's me. I like cornering personally, and just as a regular commuter, the ergonomics on this bike are just phenomenal. I mean, the handlebars sit up more so than any other super sport bike, where normally you would be down kind of a lot lower, so you would be leaning a little bit more. This one sparks a good balance between your regular sport bike and your more upright naked bikes. So it's very comfortable, and I like it because of that. So I get the look, but I also get the comfort factor as well. It's a major thing for me. I'm an old guy, you know, I'm in my 40s. So that comfort level is a plus for me. Now, one of the things that I'm thinking about doing with this bike is listing it to rent. I work, so I only ride a few days out of the week on my days off. So on those days, you know, because I have a company vehicle, so it's not like I can ride to and from work. But on my days off, I should be able to rent this bike out for somebody who wants to ride. I don't see why not, you know. That'll help me out. At least it's not sitting there. It's a great bike, very little mileage. I did ride it the other day to North Carolina, and that was an amazing ride there and back. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The back roads that we took, the winding roads, it was just something, you know. That's what I want to do more of. I might one day travel all the way up there in North Carolina, between North Carolina and Tennessee. I think they call it the Dragon's Tail. Just do some riding out there. Those roads, oh man, just the scenery, the windy roads, all of it is just, it's gonna make for a I don't know, beautiful video, beautiful ride. That's what I'm all about. That's what I'm all about. Now, this is a pretty easy bike to ride. I mean, when I took the course, and some of the bikes that they had there, they remind me of some of those bikes. It's just this bike is just a little more powerful than some of the bikes that we took at our course. They provided the bikes for us in those courses. I believe it's the MFA course. They had anything ranging from 125 to 350 size bikes there, which was cool. I had a Grom, a little 125 Grom. Thing was super maneuverable. So when it came to the little U-turn maneuver, we had to do the 2 U-turns. It was pretty easy for me, to say the least. So I didn't mind having that bike during that course at all. Now, for me, this bike is just slightly more powerful than, well, a little bit more than slightly more powerful than that bike. I've taken this particular bike up to 100 miles an hour, and I was able to get there yesterday on my way back from North Carolina, which was cool. I had to work for it though. That doesn't come easy on a 500, but as we know, going at those speeds is really not necessary. 100 miles an hour, you really don't need it. You really don't need it. When I'm out here riding in traffic, I've not had an instance out here in Virginia where I've needed to be just skating through traffic at speeds like that. This is a place where you can easily keep your bubble. Traffic it can be bad, but most of the time it's not. We don't have a lot of heavy traffic here. It's pretty flowing. And during those traffic hours, you know, we all know what times those are here. We have a lot of tunnels and bridges here because we have a lot of waterways. So at times it can be a little congested going in certain directions, but for the most part, traffic is not a problem here. So just cutting through, weaving through traffic, it's not a problem. You're gonna have your bubble, you're gonna have your space. I don't feel like I have to race past anybody to get to where I need to go to. It's not necessary. So most of the time I'm doing regular highway speeds at max. Most of the people here are normally doing around 70 miles per hour. I'm right along there with them doing about 70 miles an hour on the highway, and it's a pretty easy and enjoyable ride. So far I've had this bike for about 3 weeks. On the road, people have been very courteous. Haven't had any issues where people are trying to cut you off. Well, one time that was in my neighborhood, and that person didn't even live there. She was actually what do you call one of those, like an in-home healthcare person. She was running late for work, so she decided to cut me off on the inside because she was late for work. That was her excuse. But that's not an issue that we generally have here. I'm quite sure there's motorcycle accidents that happen all over the place, and from what I've seen online and on YouTube and other places like that, a lot of those accidents, a lot of them are the rider's fault, some of them are the driver's fault, both, if you will. Drivers driving too fast for the conditions, drivers not paying attention, things like that. So you have a number of different reasons for these accidents, but it's not something that I worry about. Like, I know right now I'm following this car too close, so I'm gonna slow down. I'm only doing about 60 something miles an hour, which that's the speed limit here, is 60. A lot of these cars are gonna get off and they're gonna head over the bridge, over the water, to the peninsula area here. You'll get stuff like this too, but if you're paying attention and you're looking out, it's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. Well, people think that they need a lot of power so that they can dodge in and out, and it has enough power to do that. If I want to kick on the throttle, I can kick up my throttle and get to where I need to get to with no problem. That was in 6th gear, and I was able to pull that 70 with no problem. Yes, a bike with more torque, more horsepower is going to get there a lot faster, but you don't need it. I'm more maneuverable than the car is, so I'm able to swerve out the way faster than they can. I can slow down faster than the car can as well. So there are pluses and minuses to it, you know. So, you know, that's one of the things to consider. I personally don't plan on getting rid of my Honda CBR500. I like this bike. This is going to be a bike that's with me forever. I do plan on getting another bike, but not because I want to go faster. I'm interested in a naked bike. I want an even more upright seating position. Like I said, I'm in my 40s, I'm getting old, or older. Comfort is big for me, you know. Looks, they can take a seat back. I prefer the comfort over anything else, and I'm not a Harley guy. I'm not a cruiser type of guy. Those aren't the type of things that I do. So for me, getting a naked is right up my alley. So don't know what I want. I was looking at the Yamaha. I was gonna buy an MT-07 before I got this bike, but the dealer didn't want to give me a deal on it. It was me and a friend of mine. We went to go get our bikes on the same day, and we got deals on this bike because we bought 2 bikes that day. The other dealership didn't want to give us any deals, so we wound up not getting that MT-07. Now I don't know, MT-09, MT-10, I'll have to look around. Maybe the Honda CB650. I don't know. All I know is I want something with a slightly different seating position, slightly more comfort. That if I ever decided, if I did get a different job at my company where I don't have a company vehicle, I can use that bike as a commuter instead of driving my car. I don't see this as a commuter. I do see this as a fun bike. I just wouldn't want to commute on it back and forth every day. Not at all. But it is fun. So we'll see how things go. One thing I will say about this bike, from first gear, second gear, third gear, the bike seems to ride a little hard to me. And maybe, I don't know, I've only got about almost 400. I'll be 400 in about 2 more miles here. The ride's a little rough. Once you get it up into 4th, 5th, and 6th, it becomes a lot smoother. Becomes a lot smoother on a throttle and everything. But first gear is horrible. Also, the bike revs out at its limit is around 7,000 RPMs. It's pretty low, which is why you don't have that power like everyone says. That's fine for me. It gets me to where I need to get to when I need to get there because of the way that I ride. You know, I'm not running any races out here, so I'm just fine with what this bike does and how it performs personally. For others who have the need for speed, like a lot of people on this road, they would have been maxing out. They want to do 130, 120, wherever they can get to in the amount of time they can get there. That's what they want to do. I'm just cruising around, enjoying the ride, enjoying the weather. That's the type of riding that I do. Old man stuff. 41. I guess you can call that old man. I guess middle-aged. Not a boomer, but you know, when you got responsibilities and things like that, riding fast isn't always what's needed, but just enjoying your life and having fun, that's the best part of the whole thing. And that's what I'm able to do on this bike. It's not enough power that I'm going to be stressed out, you know, where, oh, I'm scared that I'm gonna take a corner too fast, you know, do something that I really can't handle. This bike is very forgiving in that sense. So for the newbie, yes, it's great. For the intermediate motorcyclist, this bike is still great. I mean, unless you're going to be taking corners at 130, I mean, you really don't need more than 500 cc's. You really don't. I understand why people do it. Race cars, yeah, let's get that Ferrari. Let's go to the max. It's fun. I get it. It is adrenaline. It is just sheer fun. But so is this. It's a motorcycle. A motorcycle is going to be fun regardless. I don't care if you're on a Grom. It's going to be fun. So we can go ahead and stop with the, oh, you're going to need more power. No, you don't. You just need to learn how to ride better, ride safer. Let's focus on that. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop lecturing everybody now. But no, all in all, man, this is a extremely fun bike. The exhaust sounds like crap. I will say that. I'm going to get another exhaust system for this bike. It sounds like crap. The mirrors, they're crap. They're crap as well. My buddy, he just put some mirrors facing down here. They seem like they're better. You know, some people will decide to go without them. I personally like having mirrors. I would like to see what's around me. These mirrors do not do a good job of that at all. At all. It's a waste of plastic and gas and glass. So I guess invest in some other mirrors. Also, I'm going to get another windscreen. This thing here, get the taller one. Probably get the one that's smoked. It's a little bit darker. I've noticed in certain conditions in the sun, this screen can get really bright and almost blind you. It'll reflect back the sunlight and it will kind of blind you. So I think they do have mods for that. I'm gonna look into that as well. But my helmet, you know, the Sedici Strata 2 actually has a an additional visor that comes down that helps block the sunlight. So it's not something that's needed right now, but I would say another visor or another windscreen here for the bike, that will help that wind situation, especially on the highway. But when you tuck down and you put your stomach on a tank, no problems at all with the wind. None at all. I mean, it just cuts through the air like butter. It's not a problem. So when you're sitting up, you kind of become like a kite, you know, and you can feel the wind pushing you back. Another thing you can do is kind of duck your head down a little bit. That helps a little bit. But to solve that, just get another shield right there and you'll be fine. What else? Oh, out of the factory, I did, for my weight, I did have to adjust the preloading in the front and in the back. And the ride since then has been amazing. Just one little turn on both sides for me, and that's all I needed in the front, 2 on the back, and I was good. No bouncing, none of that. Very comfortable ride, very comfortable. All in all, I would say, you know, if you're looking for a bike and you're a beginner, you're intermediate, you've rode for a while, you got out of riding, you want to get back into riding, look, get a 500. Get this Honda 500, something along this class. I hear Kawasaki, Yamaha, the Yamaha R3, similar bike. I've sat on it. It's that bike is really light, really light. Might be a good bike for you, you know. These bikes are pretty fun, and if you just want to ride, get that exhilaration going back in your life, you know, you don't need to get a super duper duper sport bike. This is all you need. It's really all you need. And if later on you decide you want to be popping wheelies, you can do that on here. Track days, you could take it to the track. You're going to be the slowest one out there, but that's fine. So what? If you want to do that, you can. I might go to the track one day, who knows. Rent a bike there, buy another bike, take to the track, who knows. But you can do those things with this bike. This bike can do everything that the bigger bikes can. It just doesn't do it as fast. You will keep up with them, trust me. They're not going to get too far away from you. You're just going to be working a lot harder, and you're going to be probably in 6th gear, almost redlining to keep up. But you're not going to be too far off from where they are. So that's not something that you have to worry about. But yeah, it's very comfortable bike. Very comfortable bike. I would tell anybody to, you know, look into getting this bike. Anybody. If sports bikes are your thing. I couldn't tell you anything about cruisers. Not my field. Not for me. But yeah, it was, you know, nice talking to y'all. Leave some comments, let me know what you think. I'm quite sure everybody's gonna have a different opinion than what I do. That's fine. They're like buttholes, everybody has them. Feel free to express it. Just understand that I'm not gonna care about a lot of it. But you should still leave your comment though. Either way. Check y'all later.